Hello YouTube, Salivate Metal here with some very interesting news that broke today on July 31st of 2017, and that is that the London LBMA has just unveiled for the very first time how much gold is in its London vaults. It's a very interesting Here's a story from the telegraph.co.uk. And London has been acknowledged as the biggest gold tracking center in the world, but no one has ever been able to say for sure just how much gold is stored in the capital until now. New data has revealed that around 7,500 tons of gold was held in London in March of this year, the equivalent of 596,000 gold bars or 227 billion pounds worth of gold. And here's a picture of the inside of the bank vaults. And some of you may have subscribed or have seen the video of the periodic videos of showing the inside of the vault as well. So this looks somewhat familiar from that exchange, but very fascinating to see all that gold collected there. The data was published by the London Bullion Market Association, LBMA, as part of a new drive to provide greater transparency around the gold market and encourage investors to buy into the precious metal. Around 68 PC of London's physical store of gold is held at the Bank of England. I assume that's 68%, which has around 5,100 tons in its vault. The bank looks after the UK's gold reserves and also holds the metal for other central banks. And here we see a chart based off of a day, 5 months, and a month, a year, I guess, showing the gold 100. Now, I'm not sure what this chart is about, but anyways, the rest of the gold, or around 2,500 tons, is held for use by investors and traded through banks and other clearinghouses that are members of the LBMA. By comparison, there are an estimated 187,200 tons of gold above ground in the world, according to Thomson Reuters' annual gold survey. This means that London's total accounts for just 4% of global stocks, although the LBMA data does not include jewelry or other holdings by private individuals. And there's a lot, especially in India. Ask Call Silver about that and others. The Bank of England's gold pile is slightly smaller than that of the U.S. Federal Reserve, which holds around 6,700 tons of gold. The LBMA data will be published with a 3-month delay and encompasses all gold holdings within the M25. Apart from the Bank of England, there are just 7 custodians of gold in London. Security firms Brinks, G4S Cash Solutions, Malka, Amit, and Loomis International, and banks HSBC, ICBC, Standard Bank, and of course JP Morgan. Around 13.8 billion pounds worth of gold is traded each day in London, according to the LBMA. The data also revealed that London's vaults held 32,078 tons of silver in March, worth 14.5 billion pounds. Ruth Crowell, chief executive of the association, said, "How much gold and silver is there in the London vaults? It's a question I've been asked since I joined the market a decade ago, and it's one I'm sure that was asked many years before. Today I'm delighted not only to give a meaningful answer, but also to announce that these numbers will be available monthly from now on." Well, that's good news. Joni Teves, an industrial at UBS, said, "The more detailed information about the market, the better chance of understanding market dynamics and putting the various pieces of the puzzle together. Maybe it will be of interest to those outside the industry to finally have some idea of how many gold bars, like the ones in the movies, are actually sitting in the vaults in one of the world's busiest cities." According to Miss TV's analysis, around 1,485 tons of gold in London, worth about 45.7 billion pounds, are used to underpin the so-called exchange-traded funds. ETFs are financial products that allow investors to track the prices of the metal without owning the underlying commodity itself. However, the funds are usually, though not always, backed up by physical gold, and that's the hint, the key there. not always. And as we know with silver, there's a lot of paper ETFs out there above and beyond the silver stocks, and I imagine this is probably understated here. And they can sometimes be stored in a different country. ETFs are listed and can be bought and sold in the same way as ordinary shares. Gold is currently trading around $1,267 an ounce, up from 10.44% this year. Some investors have been put off buying gold because of the U.S. Federal Reserve is widely expected to raise interest rates again this year, which is likely to knock the value of the metal. However, Ms. Teves said demand for physical gold has been stable so far this year. And imagine that, this level of transparency and reporting. And by the way, here it is, the actual press release from the LBMA itself. And it's talking about that we're 7,449 tons of gold valued at $298 billion, 32,078 tons of silver valued at $19 billion. So it's reporting the silver numbers as well. And here's their statement on transparency. According to the Fair and Effective Market Review, in markets where the OTC trading remains the preferred model, authorities and market participants should continue to explore the scope for improving transparency in ways that are also enhance effectiveness. Publication of physical holdings represent the first step in reporting for the London precious metals market. The next step is trade reporting. The collection of trade data will add transparency to the market and provide gross turnover for the local London market. And I wonder what that's referring to, because it really is a crazy market, it seems like, these days. Previous gross turnover had been calculated from one-off surveys and estimated from the clearing statistics. It talks about the Bank of England started publishing its monthly gold holdings and figures in January 2017, and stores allocated gold on behalf of its customers, custodian service, which includes the UK government, other central banks, and commercial banks. BOE data are included in the LBMA statistics displayed in the table below. So here we can see the month in troy ounces in the thousands, and troy ounces in the thousands for silver and gold. So quite interesting to see here the numbers here through the past months since July of last year. And see more holdings of silver has increased. And here's explanatory notes. The data is reported monthly, 3 months in arrears. The data represents the holdings from the last day of the month. The LBMA data set starts from July 2016, which coincides with the market set of custodians being established. Loco simply relates to the place or location of the commodity is physically held. Okay, yeah, so the location of London. Gold, precious metals held within the envisions of the M25 are considered to be loco London, location London. Although it's crazy that they don't just write out location. All physical forms of the metal are included: large wholesale bars, coin, kilo bars, and small bars. The data only includes physical metal held within the London environs, does not include precious metals, physical holdings readily available at short notice, and other secure overseas vaulting facilities, such as New York. Jewelry and other private holdings held by retailers, individuals, and smaller vaults not included in the London clearing system are not included in the numbers, which makes perfect sense because it would be almost impossible to really quantify those. In fact, I can imagine if somebody did a census or a survey of that people probably wouldn't answer, which makes sense. Then there's a conversion factor of 1 gram. So very interesting indeed that they're doing this. And does this set people's minds at ease about the amount of gold held in this very important vault, the LBMA, where trading occurs? How about you Britons? Does it satisfy you? And then the next big question is, well, what about the United States? Will they follow suit by inventorying their holdings, especially at Fort Knox, which many perceive does not have any gold? And the last known accounting or showing of it was in 1974. So should it be audited? People don't realize, that the actual Federal Reserve itself is audited on an annual basis, but not by Congress, not by congressional fiat, never being able to make public. But what about the holdings of gold and in the Fort Knox and in West Point and other places? So post your thoughts below on this news about the precious metals vault holdings in London. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude, y'all, for watching, and encourage you to please click on that bell, rate, comment, and subscribe.